Hey everyone, my name's Sammy and welcome to my channel. In today's practice, we're going to be bringing in some poses that help to open us up through the chest, the upper middle back, and through the shoulders, getting them a little bit more mobile. If you're holding tightness or tension or weakness in those areas, hopefully with today's practice, you'll find a little bit of relief. Quite often these are exacerbated by our work or our kind of hobbies, that kind of thing, where we're kind of hunching over, jutting the chin out, and there's nothing wrong with that, but moving through a practice where we can counteract that kind of positioning can feel sometimes nice in the body. As always, we want to listen to our body and how it's feeling. So yes, we do want to stretch, but be okay at stopping at the point where you are feeling that stretch. Okay. So be kind and gentle to yourselves. That's the main thing. So we're going to start off with a little bit of a neck stretch here, and I'll cue you through these. And again, pick your point of a stretch point, but be okay at backing off. We don't want to get to the point where we're creating pain. We just want to find a sense of lengthening through the muscles and relaxation through the joints, okay? So the first one with our chin, what we're going to do is we're going to tuck the chin to the throat, sit up comfortably upright, and of course, be comfortable in your seat. If you're finding that your legs are not comfortable in a cross-legged position, change your leg position, okay? So from here, we'll tuck the chin to the throat and then roll the head forward and finding some length in the back of the neck. So we can let the arms just hang by our side. You can interlace the fingers and pop them at the back of your head. Let your elbows fall forward and apply gentle pressure. But again, know your point of where you want to stop, okay? We're not cranking or pushing the neck down or the head down. We're just finding a sense of lengthening through the back of the neck, maybe the upper back a little bit here as well. And we're going to take another 6 steady breaths here. Allow the shoulders to relax a little here. Maybe we can soften our facial muscles. That gentle tuck of the chin to the throat. Take another breath here before we come into our counter pose. So when you're ready, we can slowly release the hands, bring the head up, maybe some just gentle movements of the head, a few shoulder rolls. Okay, it's a little bit of a movement break. And then from here, we're going to bring our hands to the back of our alt traps, what we call these triangular muscles here that kind of around from the neck to the shoulders. We're going to pop our fingers on there, gently pull forward, let the elbows drop down and lift the chin up, and think about not only lengthening through the front of the neck, but also through the back. So we don't want to crunch the back of the neck. So it's just sitting comfortably upright and applying gentle pressure on your fingers into the traps and drawing your elbows down. So we're kind of pulling down forward a little bit and lifting up through the chin. And we'll stay here for another 6 breaths. And of course, you can do this without the arms. You can let the arms go and just lift the chin up. That's okay. And taking one more breath here. And then when you're ready, start to release your arms if you've used them and ease your head up. And again, you can just kind of take a little bit of a movement break, roll the shoulders, just move the neck a little bit. And then the next thing we're going to do is a little bit of an ear to shoulder. So I'm going to tip my left ear to my left shoulder, let my left arm just relax on my lap. And then from here, with your right hand, you can kind of walk your fingers away from your hip a little bit here and kind of think about extending through your arm, or just let your arm rest by your side. And then the other add-on to this is picking up your left hand, popping it on the outside of the left side of your head, or right side I should say, because I'm doing opposite here, right side of the head, and gently applying pressure. Okay, so again, much like the one where we tucked our chin to the throat and rolled the head forward, find your point of stretch And then, yeah, be okay with just settling here for the next 6 breaths. And if you're finding this is really uncomfortable, get rid of those add-ons and even ease the head up a little bit, because the muscles on the side of your neck can be quite sensitive. And we're going to take one more breath here. And then to help our head up, we're going to actually press from the left side of our head. Give our head a little bit of a help. And again, you can add kind of a little bit of a movement here. Sometimes it's nice to have that transitional movement before we come into the other side of the stretch. So we're going to take the right ear to right shoulder and do the same add-on. So we can extend the left hand away from the body. See how that feels. Go through each one like a step and see if you need to pull back a little bit after you've finished fluffing and getting whatever cue feels good in your body. And then we can grab our right hand and pop it on the outside of our left temple or where the hairline is, and just apply gentle pressure. And stop here for another 6 breaths. So we don't want to force ourselves into the stretch, just a little bit at a time. And be okay with just pulling back if it's getting a little bit too much. And then when you're ready, we can pop that hand on the outside of the right temple, press ourselves up. Again, take a little movement break. Good. All right, so we've just moved through some nice neck stretches here. Now we're going to open up through the chest and the back, and we'll do some seated cat-cows for this. So you can either have your hands on your lap or you can extend them out in front. And we're going to tuck the chin and the hips, hollow out the belly. So reaching forward. You can have your hands clasped together or apart, or even interlace them. And think about pressing the middle, upper and lower back out behind you. Opening up through the shoulder blades, the back of the ribs, along the spine, across the lower back. And we'll take another 4 breaths here. And 1 more to go. Nice. And then start to ease yourself up. Again, you can kind of move the body around a little bit before we transition to the counterbalance. So we're going to bring our hands behind us, maybe rest on the pads of our fingers, roll the shoulders down and away from the ears. Think about anchoring your bottom cheeks onto the ground, lifting up your heart space, a gentle tuck of the chin. We don't need to crank the head back. And think about opening up through the front of the ribs by reaching forward and up. Reaching the heart up. Anchoring down through our legs and our bottom and our fingertips. We'll take another 5 breaths here. So we're roughly stopping in each stretch for about 10 breaths, around that ballpark there. One more beautiful deep breath into the belly, into the rib cage, and then ease on out of that. Good. Love a little jiggle if you need to have a little jiggle, and yeah, settle into your stretch you've just done. So the next one we're going to do is we're going to change our leg position. I'm actually going to extend my left leg, keep my right leg bent, and we're adding some movements of the spine here in rotation and side bends. And we're also going to add in some arm poses as well, like eagle pose and cow face pose. Okay, so the first one we're going to be doing is a forward fold over our straight leg. So we'll kind of turn our positioning to face our left leg. Take a nice deep breath in. You might like to lift the arms for this one, and then keep the back straight as we lean forward. Land the hands, allow the spine to land. If you want to get a little bit more length in the spine, take an inward breath to get that little bit more length, and then allow that body to melt over your left leg. Okay, and we're going to stop here again for about 10 breaths. So tucking the chin gently in towards the throat, allowing that upper middle back to open. You might even want to face the palms up to let go of the need to grasp or pull yourself down. Just let gravity do its magic. Just another breath here or two. Whatever you need. And then when you're ready, if you do have your palms faced up, face them down. Gently press up on the in-breath. We're going to rise up and we're going to twist to the right side of our body. So once you've landed, take an inward breath to get a little bit more length in the spine. And then let's settle in. So keeping that length, not slouching. Allowing the chest to stay open. Rolling the right shoulder down and away from the ear. Relaxing the jaw. Maybe even shutting the eyes or softening your gaze might feel good for you at this time. One more breath. And then we're going to add a little side bend here. So on your in-breath, we're going to rise up, land our left hand wherever it's handy, lift up the right. Now you've got a couple of choices with your right arm here. You can kind of keep it hovered over in line with your ear. So we do want to bend sideways into that left side, not roll forward. Or you might like to take a bend in the elbow and kind of put your hand on the back of your head and gently draw the elbow back, and this will keep the chest nice and open. So this is a quite active stretch, this one. See if we can relax that left shoulder, the left arm. And we'll take another 4 breaths here, gently pulling back on that right elbow. Or reaching forward or reaching over with that right arm if you've extended it over your ear. Opening up through the side of our ribs. And then when you're ready, we can pop our left hand down, gently press through the floor, ease our way up. And then from here, we're going to add our cow face pose and our eagle arms. So we'll start with the left hand underneath the right. Now, if you're feeling quite tight in the shoulders, this is where your eagle arms might be today. And I'm going to add some little cues onto this. So you might find this is quite where you want to be today. Otherwise, you can feed the left under right and twirl as much as you can through the forearms. Okay, I find one side to get really twirly and then the other side's a little bit tight. So from here, we can gently tuck the chin towards the throat, lifting up the back of our head to the ceiling. Start to lift the elbows off our chest is another option, or draw the arms or forearms away from the face. And then we'll stop here for 10 breaths. So choose one of those cues or choose all 3, whatever's working for you today. And this is quite an intense stretch for the shoulders, the upper back, separating the shoulder blades. And just a few more breaths here. Not long now. And then we're going to release our arms, let our eagles fly free, bring our left arm, and again, we're going to go through this through a few stages. So pop the palm of your left hand on the back of your head, the back of your right hand on your lower back, and draw the elbows back. And this is where your cow face pose might be for today, and that's absolutely perfect. And then you can start to work your hands down and up your back, and then finding your stop point wherever it would be. So your hands don't necessarily have to touch. I know one side of mine it does and one side it doesn't, and that's okay with me. And then once you find your point where, yep, that's about as far as my hands can go, then we can draw the elbows back just a little bit behind us, and we'll hold this for about, again, about 10 breaths. So sitting up tall still. Focusing on your breathing. Just a few more breaths here before we release. And then when you're ready, start to unwind your cow face. Give your arms a little shake. And then we're going to change foot positioning. So we'll take a bend into that left knee and straighten out the right. Now, if you find that you've got funny knees today and that don't feel like bending, you can do all of this with straight legs. You don't have to bend your knees, okay? I know I'm being very gentle with this one because it's not happy. So yeah, so I'm going to be adding padding when we get onto our knees and do our poses on our knees. So you'll notice I'll be adding some props here. So from here, we're coming into our forward fold. So facing our right leg, take a deep full breath in and then folding over that right leg. We can take an inhale, get a little bit more length through the spine, and then melt the belly over the thigh, let the head relax. Shine the crown of our head towards our ankles. Allow the breath to soften the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe allowing the palms to face up onto the ground or the back of the hands to be on the ground. Relaxing through the left hip. Keeping both sit bones anchored to whatever you're sitting on. I like to sit on a mat or a cushion or something like that because my hips get very tight and it just gives me a bit more comfort. We'll stop here for just a few more breaths, not rushing. And then when you're ready, we can turn the palms to face down, gentle pressure as we rise up, and then we add a little twist. So we're going to twist towards the left, land our hand, take a nice full deep breath in to get a little bit more length through the spine, and exhale. Keep that length as we settle in, rolling the left shoulder down. Gently drawing in the lower belly. And then on your next in-breath, when you're ready, picking up that left hand will rise up. You can keep your right hand on your left knee or you can pop it onto your right leg. And then yeah, we've got our little variations here where we keep the left arm swept over our ear. Maybe if that's not feeling good, take a bend into the elbow, pop your hand on the back of your head or behind your ears and draw the elbow back. So we're bending into the right side of our body. We can just allow the breath to ease us into this pose. As every exhale getting a little bit softer. A bit more open through the chest as we draw that left elbow back. We'll reach that left arm overhead. Just gazing wherever it feels comfortable for the neck. And then from here, I'm going to pop my right hand onto the ground, ease myself up, release, and then we've got our eagle arms and our cow face pose. So this time we're going to sweep the right under left, or again, you might like to do forearm to forearm, and then do your little twist. This one I find is a little bit more bendy on this side, and this is really normal. One side is always a little bit more mobile than the other. And then from here, we're going to tuck the chin gently to the throat as one option. Lift the elbows off the chest as another option. Or draw the forearms away from the face as another option. And again, you can choose one or two or three of those. Whatever suits your practice today. Just a few more breaths here. ready, in your own time, release your arms, your eagle arms, let them fly. And then we can bring our right arm to the back of our head, our left hand to the back of our lower back. Draw the elbows back, and then you can start reaching down, reaching up. And this is my tight side. So I find where I could touch my fingers on the other side, this one's like no chance. So, but that's okay. As long as I'm feeling some sort of opening up through this part of my shoulder and through the front of my shoulder here, I'm happy to stop my hands wherever. So sitting up tall, anchoring down through your sit bones and your legs. Just a few more moments here, not long. And then when you're ready, start to release your cow face arms. Give them a little shake. All right, so we're actually going to make our way onto hands and knees and do some poses or some opening positions. In a prone position or a face down position. Like as I mentioned, my knee's not great, so I'm going to bring in my trusty blanket here. So if you do have dodgy knees, like I have at the moment, it's okay to add props to support and comfort your practice. So the first one we're going to be coming into is puppy pose. So let's set the knees. I'm going to come a little bit further down my mat here. Set the knees under your hips. You can have your toes curled under or flat, whatever feels good. And then from here, keeping the hips high over the knees, we'll walk the hands forward. And this is sometimes called melting heart as well. So we're going to slowly come down that way, dropping the heart towards the floor. I'm even going to take my glasses off for this one. Reach the hands forward, pressing into the pads of your fingers, your knuckles. And we're not jamming the shoulder down. We do want to keep some tension as we lengthen the arms out in front of us to the top of the mat. Zipping up the lower belly a little bit here. We can rest our forehead on the mat or a block, whatever feels good for your neck. And if you want to, another variation of this is to bring the palms together, rest on the elbows, and sweep the hands behind you so your thumbs kind of touch your upper back. So you get a little bit of a tricep or back of arm stretch here. So pick out the variation that's going to suit your practice today. Even taking the hands a little wider can be something that you might want to try. One more breath here. And then from here, we're going to start to ease the hands back underneath our shoulders. Come into a little counter pose, but we will be coming into this similar pose a bit later on, but I want to counter pose these ones. So from here, we're going to sit the hips back just a little bit, and we're resting on where the hairline, where your forehead meets the hairline, or roughly that position. Now we're coming into rabbit pose. So we're going to tuck a little bit here. It kind of looks like child's pose. Sweep the hands so you're touching your ankles or your heels, and we're lifting the upper back up. I'm going to have a little play here. There we go. And then we're lifting the upper back up. So we're not sitting the hips on the heels. We're actually lifting the hips off the heels, allowing the shoulder blades to open. And if you were looking, I had your eyes open, you could gaze underneath you. Allowing, and this is actually lengthening or opening up right along the spine and even into the lower back. So try and soften your shoulders, allow the elbows to come down a little by the side of your legs. Just a few more breaths here. And then from here, release your hands, bring them back under your shoulders. We'll make our way forward again, back into that puppy pose. Well, kind of like a puppy pose. And then from here, we're going to add a actually, let's go back from there. Hit the pause button, bring your hands under your shoulders. And then what we're going to do is we'll reach up our left hand, tuck it underneath. I kind of got a little bit mixed up there. And we're going to bring our left shoulder down towards the mat. Okay, so we're looking over to the left. And then we can pick up our right hand if you want to and extend that overhead as another little add-on. And this opens up through the shoulder blade and the side of the shoulder on your right arm. So we'll stop here for a few breaths, about 10-ish. Just resting our head on our mat or a block, whatever's available, or a mat. And then when you're ready, we can start to bring that right arm underneath our shoulder, press up. You might want to take a little cat-cow here, bit of counter pose before you do the other side. And then when you're ready, we're going to pick up the right hand and bring it underneath and do exactly the same thing. So rest the head on whatever's comfortable for your neck, extending that right arm underneath us. And then we can pick up the left hand if you want to as an add-on, reach it to the top of the mat. So opening up through the right shoulder blade, down our muscles in the back on our left. Just a few more breaths here. And we can start to bring that left hand back under the shoulder, press up, and again, if you want to do some little counter poses with your cat-cows. And then from here, we're going to come into Sphinx pose. So I'm actually going to move my mat over to the side, or my blanket I should say, and ease our tummies all the way down. Okay, so from here, what we'll do is we'll take our legs as wide as you feel comfortable. So kind of wiggle in and see where your comfort spot is. And then from here, bring our elbows under the shoulders. Now, if this is a little bit too intense for the back, bring those elbows a little bit forward of your shoulders. That will help to kind of ease off that tension in your lower back. Another thing that you can try is tucking the tailbone gently into the mat, okay, like you're peeling your belly off the mat. And from here, we're going to roll the shoulders away from the ears and think about lifting the crown or the back of the head up to the ceiling. Gently drawing the elbows towards behind us. Okay, so we're not kind of moving the elbows, we're kind of just digging into the mat a little bit and drawing back. Okay, so we're shining the heart forward, gently pressing the forearms and hands into the mat, keeping the tailbone tucked just a little under, opening up through the chest. And we'll stop here for a few more breaths. And then from here, slowly melting down. Maybe take a little mini break as we rest our head on the back of our arms, give our hips a little wiggle. And we just have a few poses to go before we come into Savasana. So from here, we're going to come into broken wings. So this can be quite an intense stretch for the shoulders. So, be kind to yourselves and just go into a stretch that feels good for you. So we're going to come and extend our left arm out the side, roll onto our left hip. We're going to take a little bit of a wiggle here. Okay, so from here, we're going to roll onto that left side. Now we've got our right hand in front, just helping us support us in the twist. So we're going to gently pressing that right hand into the ground, and we can kind of stack the knees here, or you might want to pick up your right leg and pop it over the back to make it a little bit more intense with this stretch. And then again, this is one of these stretches where I feel very flexy on one side, but the other side feels quite stiff. So we're just resting the side of our head on the mat, the whole side of our body. Getting that little stretch through the front of the shoulder and through the chest as well. You can do this with a bent elbow, but I find that's a little bit too intense for me. But again, you have the option of bending into that left elbow as well. One more full deep breath. And then from here, gently easing out of your broken wing, coming onto your tummy, and then we'll start to move on to the other side. Okay, so again, this side might feel completely different. I'm going to shuffle a little bit over. I find I don't need to twist much to get a stretch in this side. It's quite stiff. See, as you can see, I would struggle to pick up my leg and take it over. I find it's just enough. Just a little opening here. So it's perfectly normal to hold tightness and tension on one side more than the other. It's how we carry our load and just the way we are, really. And then from here, easing off, coming back onto our tummies, and then from here we're actually going to roll onto our back and do fish pose. Now with fish pose, there's a couple of ways that you can do it. You can do more of a active fish pose or a passive fish pose. So I'm going to show you both options. I'm going to get option B ready. Okay, so with option 1, we're on our backs, and what we want to do is we want to open up through the shoulders and the chest. So what we do from here is we tug our elbows into our side. I like to do this with my knees bent to start. And then I'm kind of just rolling the shoulders underneath each other and kind of tucking my elbows in and then popping my thumbs underneath my hips or my bottom. Okay, and then I'm going to straighten out my legs. So I'm kind of digging my elbows as close to my torso as I can, rolling my shoulders underneath each other. And then from here, I'm lifting up the chin. Okay, now how far you lift up the chin is entirely up to how you feel in the neck, but we want to maintain that lengthening not only through the front but the back of the neck. So this is quite active, this Vatsyasana, and for me, I kind of like the restorative version. So what I'm going to do is unroll myself from that one and grab some pillows off the bed or roll up a blanket or a towel, whatever's handy. And then from here, I'm going to rest the mat or the blanket along the length of my spine, allow my head to be supported. And then I've got this nice gentle opening through the chest and shoulders. Let my arms hang by my side, and then I can play with what I want to do with my legs, whether I'll keep them out straight or come into Supta Baddha Konasana, which is lying butterfly, which kind of feels nice for the hips. So I'm going to stop here, but have a little play and see what feels good in your body today. See if we can allow that breath to smooth out any tight muscles, get us to relax, release and let go. Just a few more breaths here. I could probably stop here for a few minutes if I let myself. It's probably one of my favorite positions to be in. And then from here, I'm going to ease myself out of the fish pose, coming into our last pose, which is a twist. And again, I'm going to keep my mat here, or my blanket. I keep calling it a mat. I'm going to keep my blanket here. So from here, what you'll do is you'll need some head support, whether it be a cushion or a block or whatever, a blanket. You're going to roll over to one side. We'll move over here. extend both arms and make it kind of like a, what do you call, lightning bolt shape, where your heels, hips and shoulders are all in alignment. Not accurate, just rough. And then from here, I'm going to keep my hips and knees forward and then start to lift up through the arm and bring my arm over to the other side. So I'm opening up through the chest, but I'm keeping the whole of my right side glued to the mat and opening up through the left side of my chest, my arms, just gazing over my left shoulder. And then easing on up, take a nice deep breath in, connect palm to palm, and then rolling onto the back. And again, if you want to take a little movement break, maybe bring in some windshield wipers. We don't have to rush to stretch the other side. And then rolling over to the other side. So this will be my left side. Okay, so get myself organized here. So the complete left side of my body on the mat, and from heels to hips to head, or roughly in alignment. I'm going to sweep up my right arm, swish it over to the left. So open up through the right side, through the right chest, and the shoulders, just anchoring down the left side of my body to the mat, taking our time. And then when you're ready, gently start to lift your right arm off the right side, sweep it over, rolling onto our back, and again bringing in that little movement break. And then from here, coming into a position that feels relaxing and comfortable, that we're able to settle in and reap the rewards of our practice, that we're able to connect with the breath and ourselves. So from here, I'm choosing the option of keeping my knees bent and resting the insides against each other, taking the feet a little wide. And yeah, so you need to just come into something that feels super comfortable, okay? So take some time, take up space, and I'll gently ease you out of our Savasana in just a few minutes. When you're ready, begin to move mindfully Like wiggling the toes, little movement in the fingers. Maybe a stretch that you enjoy doing or deepening of the breath. Whatever you need to do to awaken the body, use the power through the breath to guide you. Take some time to roll onto your side and gently press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. There's no rush, slow and steady with the breath and with the body. Get my little trusty blanket here. Okay, get my little leg out of the way, poor knee. Okay, thank you everybody for joining me. Let's come together to close today's practice. So add hands to heart space with a gentle bow. Let's give gratitude to our amazing bodies for moving and for being still, for our breaths for nourishing us, and for our minds for guiding and supporting us. Again, thank you for joining me for today's practice, and the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. So thank you again for coming and joining this practice with me. If you like what you did today, just hit the subscribe button and share, like, do all those YouTube things. Otherwise, I'd love a bit of feedback as well if there's anything that you'd like me to, teach. And otherwise, I'll see you next time. Take care.